Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another series review. I just recently watched QOTS and the episode was called Pacto con el Diablo, or A Pact with the Devil. And Epifanio, he is confronted by his nemesis and he's looking at Isabella quite lasciviously. And he said, you know, Montezuma once had a daughter that Cortez had an eye for, and once Montezuma became ill, he took her away and gave her everything, even a new religion. And Epifanio looks at him straight in the eyes like, I'm going to kill you. I'll find where you are and I'll murder you in your sleep. He said, yes, you realize that's my daughter you're talking about. I thought, ooh. And Juero gets into trouble with the DEA. There's a scene in the desert that's very reminiscent of season 1 with the near-fatal bite that Teresa receives. And Camila she's with them. What I really loved about this particular episode was a flash to Teresa's better self, the La Jefa. I'm going to call her the boss, because I think that's what she should be called, because it makes so much sense. And she's wearing a white tank top, but in the future version of herself she's wearing complete white, and she shows up as a complete badass, and Control is her middle name, and she has everything at her command, and she's very intimidating but commanding in that particular scene in her the future version of herself. And I really love that. I adore that they also used fisheye in this particular scene as she's nearly dead, and Juero saves her with a cactus. It is true that you can drink from cacti and also coconuts, because coconut water is one of the most alkaline things you can have, and it will only help you, and they use it for plasma replacement too, which is really amazing. You think, whoo, nature is just incredible with the evolution that it contains and how beneficial it is for human beings. This episode had a lot of kind of seedy underground trafficking stuff involved, and Juero, he was compromised, and they know about Teresa. They said, is she some kind of are you sex trafficking her? Are you a coyote, etc. And I thought, oh man, this is not good. But this episode was probably one of my favorite ones, just because of how they filmed it, and of course the fisheye effect. I hadn't seen fisheye done for such a long time, but the way in which it was shot, you feel just the whole uncertainty, the wooziness, the lack. It is just such a dichotomy to see the lack and chaos, the lack of control and instability of Teresa's state as she's trying to avoid going into complete shock. Well, she's saved, thank God, but and that vision that she has of whom she's going to become. And I like the fact that they use irony and dichotomy, and it's just one scene that explains everything so well. And it's really fantastic scenery, and cinematography is as far as television shows go. And another one that does this even without depicting or saying anything would be Twin Peaks, because there's so many things that happen in a scene and just make it, even though a lot of it's kind of weird and hard to decipher. Some of the things you think, I'm not even going to wager a guess what this all means, because maybe it's just meant to be symbolic and not have any significant meaning or symbolism in and of itself. But that's for Mr. Lynch to describe to his viewers, because a lot of it goes beyond what we understand, even though a lot of us are very educated and well read, it just baffles. It still baffles me, even though I've seen the original. But anyway, the episode was just outstanding as usual, and there was a lot to take away from it. And Juero and Teresa have their goals, which you kind of wonder how they're going to get to that. And then there's the whole scene with Epifanio and Isabella, and Isabella's friend is, you know, typical millennial. She's lost on her telephone, and she says, you know, I'm not like you, Isabella. I'm sending my boyfriend a picture of my chi-chis and whatnot. I thought, ugh. Vapid airhead. I can't stand her. I do not like her. I just think, you know what? Girls like that are the reason why women hate women sometimes, just because you think you're this buxom female who can use her wiles or her assets to get whatever she wants. And yeah, you give women a bad name. I don't like it. Ugh, disgusting. But she's just an example of the type of woman who uses her femininity to get what she wants. And yeah, women like that aren't really ladies. They're something else I'm not going to say on camera. But it's very interesting, the kind of static tension, the uncertainty, the animosity between Epifanio and his his rival, and you think something's gonna go down, and you know it, even though he's not being very subtle. He's being overt about the alliance he wants to make with Epifanio, and oh gosh, it's getting good. So I'm really enjoying it, and I'm excited to see where it goes from there. But until next time, I guess I'm going to have to wait till next episode. I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to have my contract. I may have to wait for Hulu, and budgeting will have to happen before that. But I'm hoping that I can get it, because I watched Community up until season 3, and then I kind of lost interest. The Halloween episode kind of turned me off a little bit, because it was a little bit too bawdy for me, even though it had a lot of adult humor and was risque even for a PG show. But I'm going to go back to it, because it was just delightfully crafted and hysterical. I saw an episode that I hadn't seen from season 4 of them going back to school with hipster fashion. I thought, I want to see that so bad, because I'm a hipster and proud of it. But I know I don't look like one. I am one. I'm an old soul. But it was so funny, and they're going to make a movie, so I thought, yay, I got to get caught up before they make the movie, so I know what's happened at the community college, and it makes sense to me, so I don't have to backtrack. But I will in all due time. But update, I am going to be traveling to Cleveland, North Carolina from the 1st to the 3rd. The 4th, I'm actually going to be coming back home a little bit early, because I have to go to school. I have to go back to work. That means that paycheck for the week is not going to be, it's going to be rather stingy. But they don't pay us for, if we don't work, we don't get paid. I mean, that's just the way this particular business works, and I guess that's fair. I really don't have that much else to say, other than I will be doing more updates. I've got a new song I'm working on. I'm working on some new stories. So stay tuned to my blogger, look at my Facebook. I appreciate all the magicians out there that are giving me support. Thank you. It could not be done without you. Once I get everything ironed out, I'm going to go back to school and hopefully learn how to animate. So then you get to see the results, the fruits of my labor Because I'm hoping, I still have, I don't think I told this story on camera, but I got a letter, I wrote a letter to Mr. Spielberg, one of my many idols, and it wasn't Spielberg who actually responded to me, but DreamWorks itself, and themselves, I should say, and they looked at my work. Apparently they liked my work from the contents of the letter, but they said in order to have something accepted by the company, I would have to be employed, and I thought, I wonder if they're subtly saying that maybe I should consider a career with DreamWorks. And I thought, I kept that letter because not only was it beautiful, it was in this manila kind of envelope, premium grade, just pristine. I almost didn't want to open it, afraid that I would ruin the the raised lettering. I mean, it was just so perfect. I thought, I'm holding in my hand the most sacred object known to humankind. Yet I opened it, and then I found the illustrious contents held within. And then I thought, ooh, I mean, my hand was literally vibrating like this when I opened it. I've never let that letter go, and it keeps me going to this day, and I'm thinking it was a sign from the universe, a wink, saying, you know what? Go for it. Even though you would have to leave behind a lot of different things eventually, if that's where you're meant to be and what you're supposed to be doing with your life, then do it. You wanted to be involved in film since you were 13. Go for it. But we'll see where it goes and how things traverse from here on out. It'll be very interesting. It has been a very long, strange trip indeed, as a certain Grateful Dead song lyrics portend. What a long, strange trip it's been are the words, and how true is, you know, the song's Truckin', which is one of my favorites. That's pretty much it. So I will keep you all updated and let you know what's going on. So until next time, live long and prosper. Ciao tutti.